office internet. Oh, look, we're recording. It's happening behind the scenes. All right, y'all. We are going to jump in, and I'm sure the bodies will start. There's Ari. Yay, Ariana. We missed your DJ skills. I thought about singing, but I went against it. I'm going to jump into my share screen so we can go through the goods and get to the meat and potatoes of today. And just give me peace and joy, y'all, because driving the Zoom screen and talking is a skill. So let's get going with all of our beautiful disclaimers. We know everything is as is, whatever. Now we have some gratitude. Who has some joy to share? Go ahead and unmute because I am in screen share mode, so I can't see your faces. Who wants to share something good?
I like to share something good. This is Yvette.
Go, Yvette.
Hi. I like to share that Ashley rocks, guys. She is so awesome. I'm in the process of trying to get my permit, and she was so helpful at the range. And I just want to tell her thank you. I appreciate you. And today is the day, Ashley. Yay.
Awesome. Congratulations.
I'm on my way
Great.
now.
It's
There's a
probably a
story to tell
secret
there.
to most people on here, but yeah, if, Yvette shared with me she was going to get her concealed carry permit, but didn't own a gun, hadn't shot one in years. So I was like, oh no, somebody I care about. Got to know what she's doing.
Thank you.
And here
You're
I
an
am
amazing
thinking that she just
OP.
got her license.
Yeah. That is an unexpected gratitude, and I'm here for it, Yvette. So, congratulations to you. And Ashley, way to step up and be like that all encompassing OP coach leader of all things. Way to go. Anybody else have something they're chomping at the bit to share as far as gratitude goes? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I got to give it up for Charlie and Tommy. These guys have been showing up religiously all the time into the office. It's usually a ghost town in there unless there's free food. But these guys are there every day, grinding it out and putting in the time and the effort and really learning how their trade. And it's awesome to see that from a couple of young guys like that. So good kudos to you guys.
Love that, Eddie. Thanks for sharing. I don't know if I would say ghost town exactly, but I definitely can see when the free food is bringing in the humans. So, way to go, Tommy and Charlie. I sure as heck saw a lot of your faces last week. So, great job. Keep it up. It will all get there eventually. All right, property pitches. Who has something to share coming soon, just listed, something you want to bring to everyone's attention?
Hey, this is Misal. I have one.
Go, Michelle.
Yeah, it'll be active this Thursday. It's a two-bedroom, two-bathroom condo in Del Cerro. It's listed at 540,000. It is a spacious 1,100 square foot first floor unit. It features updated counters, cabinets, appliances, and a beautiful outdoor patio. The community has a pool, it has a jacuzzi and a clubhouse, and it's all in a really quiet, kind of friendly setting. It's close to the 8 freeway, close to SDSU, so great convenience there. I'll be hosting an open house this Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., so please stop by to check it out. But if you can't make it, I'll have a Sentry lock next to the unit for easy access. So, yeah, thanks.
Congratulations. Well done. Anybody else a property to pitch or something to share? All right, as always, go to the chat with those if you have them. Great work, Miss Al. Amazing job. And now we have seen some commenting on the Facebook page about the amazing Mark Miller and his Mondays with Mark. You know, alliteration is fun, and Mark's decided it's time to evolve in Q4 and come up with something new. So he wanted y'all to go ahead and realize there is a post on the Facebook page to vote for the new name. He's got a ton of ideas, and I know that we've had more of our top agents showing up for this. I want to remind you all If you're not on an appointment or lead generating, you are learning. And if you have questions or wonders about anything in the contracts process or something you've heard about, go show up in this Monday session and learn before you're in the journey or while you're in the journey or after the journey has closed. And he is here to help you. So go to the Facebook page and click that vote link in there. If you see them here and you want to write quickly in the chat, go for that as well. And I'm sure we can go back and grab those names in there. That wasn't in the plan, but if you see something screaming out and you're like, yeah, that's the one I want, then go for it. And real estate dialogues and conversations with our lovely broker Bob and Eddie is continuing. And Ed and Robert, you have said it is on Mondays and Wednesdays. Is that correct?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
I was so close. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And it is in person and on Zoom. Anything either one of you want to share about that?
I mean, keep showing up, you guys. It's great to have these conversations in the mornings, especially, and really to get the fire started like first thing in the morning, you know. And I mean, I've been getting stuff out of it. I love talking real estate with all of you guys, and it's great to see, you know, newer agents and veterans coming in there because they're there to help as well, you know. So
Eddie, what have we witnessed the most that's lacking in agents that are coming to the dialogues training?
what are we missing the most? I mean, we're missing the agents.
No, I mean, what are we uncovering, discovering that some agents need to work on to get more closings?
Building rapport, and really having that real conversation with people, even if it's at an open house and not just diving like, hey, you looking for a 3 bedroom, 2 bath? Like, how can I help you find that place? But really diving deep and like having human interactions and
I
really
just jumped into another meeting.
Sherry, we hear
The first
you.
one.
You're not on mute, my dear.
how's that other meeting treating you? So yeah, it's I honestly like I think that's like the real meat and potatoes of this week at least, is really getting to know people and understanding what's really important to them.
So I want to add, so what we're finding out is everybody's doing the heavy lifting, going out and doing the open houses, if they're doing an open house. But what they're lacking is the ability to connect with that person when they walk in the door. And what most agents naturally would gravitate to is like, what are you looking for? 3 bedroom, 2 bath, what area? That doesn't build a relationship. That just finds out what they're looking for. In order to capture them into your network, you have to get some ability to connect with them on a human level so that they will return your call if you're putting them into your database. And we're covering that extensively in the class. And kudos to the people today, like Thomas and um, who else was there?
His name is Charlie.
Charlie. Thomas and Charlie. Brain aneurysm. I'm old. Thomas and Charlie, after a few weeks, are getting it now. And they did really good in their role play.
Yeah,
Really proud of them.
ditto.
Y'all, if you're not practicing on each other, you're practicing on your clients, and nobody wants that. So get in the room and talk to people where you're in a safe space. You can be critiqued and corrected to improve, and then go out and have the real conversations with the humans who are going to help you grow your business. Thanks, Eddie and BB, for keeping that goodness going. A little public service announcement on November 11th. We are closed as an office for Veterans Day, which means what? It means if you don't have your code, you don't know how to use the building, you don't know how to get in, and you're going to need to get in, please take care of that this week. So next Tuesday, you're not in a panic about how do I get in to make my copies and do my work and talk to my people and
Tuesday,
crush my
Daycare's
business.
closed, right?
You are also, I will put you back on mute. Friends, it's really simple, the mute unmute button. I'm going to help you drive it, but just it's been a minute since we've been on Zoom. Let's remember we only talk when we're in the meeting, not when we're talking out of the meeting.
I'm muting
Great.
them there as I find them.
Thanks, B-Bert. Alicia, I saw your face. I saw there's so
I'm
many
here, but
great
I'm
spotlights
pretending
here.
like I'm Nancy, which might actually work depending on how often her hair changes. We actually were having some technical difficulties in the training room. So I do want to also give a shout out to Escrow Partners for sponsoring our little pumpkin party we had last week. Noble went and got a whole bunch of pumpkins for us, and we had a great time. And Nicole brought cookies cookies, and it was a lot of fun. But let's get into some spotlights. Amy opened up her very first escrow, and it's going very smoothly right now. And then we have a little scrolling action, and Kiara got a BRBC signed, and she is out showing on that. As we know, Misael just took another listing, so that's amazing for him. That's going to go live tomorrow. And Vanessa also opened her very first escrow, and that is going really well too, and hopefully closing next week, actually. They are all in launch with me. And then Tomas, he actually got two BRBCs signed. And scroll, scroll, scroll. He just had his second closing with KW Metro, and he is coaching with Coach Robert.
Gracias. And the pumpkin party was awesome, although I'm not sure if I want pumpkin guts puking up on my desk, but every other part looked like
It
it
was
was
so
amazing.
fun. We had a blast.
Listen, congratulations to all those agents. There is not, the market has not been giving you extra business this year. Nothing's floating into your lap and saying, hey, help me buy and sell through magic. We will talk about that in a few minutes and next year and anticipated numbers. And yet you are doing deals and closing business right now. Excellent work. Great job. Keep it up. All right, Mr. Blinky. Give us the word.
So I saw a crazy statistic today that I want to share with you guys, and I'm just looking for that email of where I saw it. So prior to, I want to say it was 2021, the house switching rate was somewhere like in the 30% range. It was, I want to say it was like 41%. Whereas just recently they came out with more statistics on that, and they said that it dropped down currently in 2025 to 2.8%. The like it was in the 40s, it dropped into the 30s, and we're at like 3%. So if you're feeling the fact that there aren't a lot of people moving, that's because there aren't a lot of people moving, you guys. That lock-in effect is still very real, and it will continue to be real until these rates come down a little bit more. That being said, the Fed did lower rates, and I did mention to everybody last week, like, hey, even though the Fed lowered rates, our mortgage rates went up. Well, think about it. You have 12, 13 very intelligent economists out there trying to make decisions on a massive economy with no data. Like these guys, the government's shut down. They're not getting the data that they need to make these decisions and which way to move the market, right? And so the problem is that we just got an ADP report out today, jobless claims report. Yes, do you know how many jobs were created this month? 42,000.
I'm gonna say 7.
42,000. Like that is nothing. Over the past, yeah, it's wild. Over the past 3 months, there has been a net of 10,000 jobs created. And so it's just wild to think that they're not going to lower rates, but they don't have a lot of additional information and plot points to like figure out exactly what to do. So I've got a gut feeling that they're just going to be on the safe side and hold come December. Just so you guys know, rates did spike up again today. And it's been the trend. The past 5 times that they've lowered rates, the rates drop right before the announcement, and right afterwards they go up, and then they slowly trickle down until the next meeting. And I think that you can bank on the same thing happening going forward into December. So we're still in the low 6s. VAs, we're getting into the 5s, high 5s, but it's getting some demand, but it is tough out there. And do whatever you can to keep practicing with us, and we'll all keep working through this together. So I appreciate
Keep practicing, and when you have people who have like questions, thoughts, wonders, etc., connect them to Eddie and Matt like immediately. to let them start planning and getting ready to go into being a buyer. I was in the room last week talking to somebody, I don't remember who it was, and they were like, oh, well, this person I'm talking to is like 6 to 12 months out. I said, great, they're almost exactly on time to start getting prepared. You guys do not wait when your buyer candidates say, we're thinking of doing something sometime in 2026. Be like, oh gosh, okay, well, then we're just barely in time. Let's get you talking to the right people to get you set up. So the more you can show your value and use your vendors around you, that is your professional team, to help get your clients ready to go transact, the more you'll build your pipeline and have clarity and have people who are actually ready to transact when they want to transact.
Because they know you're
Reach
not
out for
trying to
anything.
sell them, right? You're not trying to sell them. You're actually trying to be a consultant and help them down the road, even if it's not today. We talked about that today, right? And coming up with that roadmap of actually getting to your destination. How are you going to get there if you don't even have a starting point? So let's get you to that starting point, right? Super important. Thank you, Sarah.
That's it. You're welcome. Thanks, Eddie. Jacqueline, aka Nancy, aka Alicia, take it away.
Nancy was kind enough to let me borrow her monitor and speaker that's working. So I would like to congratulate a few people. Now, some of you were on the last month's meeting or last week's meeting for October closings, but Sherry and Joseph, congratulations for getting in closings in October. So big round of applause for you guys. I know they can clap over in the main room because I was over there clapping for all the people with business. Special spotlights. Oh, see, I can hear the clapping. That's strange. Special call outs. Christine would like to spotlight Maria Pena for opening escrow. And Nicole would like to spotlight Alan Harris for opening escrow. Congratulations to both of you. And then this is a special slide. I don't know that we've ever had a month that had a slide like this, but Christine would like to congratulate Amy Bloom, Marvin Gomez, and Mike Law. All have multiple escrows open in November. So congratulations, AB, Marvin, and Mike. You guys are doing amazing things. I wanted to thank everybody, all the people in that screen that are over in that room that showed up today to pour into taking their business plan into the GPS. Great session today. You guys had great feedback, great information. I do actually need to connect with you and make sure that we got the taxes part right. So I'm saying that out loud so that we make sure to touch base and make sure we did that part right. But we did some good work today moving from business plan to GPS. And we did get confirmation in the room that we will be setting up another session to go from GPS to 411 in time blocking. So that will be coming. I'll work with Ashley to get that content put together over the next week or so. And we will bring you guys that before the end of the year. But your GPSs are in a great place where you can start taking action on them today. So congrats to everybody in the room that showed up. We were going to record it. We had some challenges with tech today. So what I have offered as a solution is I'm going to go home and either today or tomorrow, let's be honest, it's probably not going to be till tomorrow, I will record myself doing the class. It won't be the live interaction, but I will try to sprinkle in what I learned from the group as we are going through the session today. So there will be some kind of recording. It just won't be today. So we're working on that. And then there's one last slide for us this week. We're excited to see Sarah, for those of you that didn't see on the Facebook group, posted that she has made a phone call into the San Diego Food Bank to get a bin delivered so that we can do donations. What I realized is you don't need to wait, right? So I want you guys to be able, and this was part of our conversation around the GPS today too, start taking action now, today. We can refine, we can fix later. So just to get things going, we created a flyer. It is posted on Sarah's post that she made about the food bank. The first comment is me saying, hey, here's a link. That link is a Canva template. You go in, you put your name, your phone number, and your DRE number. And what we've said is they can drop off, right? November 1st from 9 to 3. That's during business hours, so they can drop off here. The reality is a lot of your database, your friends and family aren't going to be able to drop off in the middle of a business day. So the alternative is they can call you, which is why you need to put your phone number in there, and you can go do a pickup. The nice thing about that is you're also getting the one-on-one touch point, face-to-face communication with your people doing something amazing for our community here in San Diego. So I wanted to encourage you guys, go take that. You can implement it immediately. The bins don't have to be here. Just start collecting because the need is high right now. So wanted to get you guys going on that right away. All right, back to you guys.
Thanks for that, Jacqueline. It made it super awesome. And I did also request a virtual page. So if y'all want to be shared, so start take the action with what she provided here because you have to go get it out there in order to collect it. And then once we get permission to post the virtual page, that'll be a landing page where you can share to your database as well and give people options to donate either way. And, based on your business, do the right thing for you. Thank you again, Astro Partners. Bieber, you're up.
Thanks for the time. Hey, I just wanted to check their email. I sent you an email this week, actually yesterday, about the MLSA form that I'm looking at on the call. I don't think it's anybody on this call. Unfortunately, it's people that don't show up for training, but filling that form out correctly and understanding how to present it to your seller. And it's also different if you're an SDMLS member versus a CRMLS member, because the two treat it differently. Like for CRMLS, there's a coming soon that in IDX is the feed out, but in SCMLS, coming soon does not go out to Redfin, Trulia, Zillow, those type of sites. So I try to make it as simple as possible to read it so you understand how to present it, because it is unique. And we are seeing in reviews from Mark that a lot of people just don't even fill it out. They leave it blank. So we have to have that, and that's why you get the correction email to get it corrected. But it doesn't look really good when you're going back to a seller and say, "Oh, I forgot to have you do this. Can you fill this out, please?" And we have to decide how we want to market it in the MLS. Doesn't look like you know what you're doing. So I want you to get more business and referrals by looking like you do. All right, thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Robert. Be good listeners, do the right things, and make sure your files are good and you're not going to real estate jail. Nobody wants to go to real estate jail. That's not fun. Okay, so today's meat and potato. I don't like you saying meat and potatoes. I guess it's the Irish in me. Anyway, we've been talking about business planning. We've been talking about goal setting. We've been talking about all these things. And on my mastermind this week and last week, it was very much about now we go to implement, right? And how many people I know we're on Zoom, so it's like I can't see all your faces at the same time, and some people are in the room. But raise your hand if you have 100% followed your business plan for this year and you are on track to hit your goals? Exactly. So raise your hand if you think that maybe by March of this year, you might have forgotten what your goals even were, and you probably never looked at your business plan again after that. Thank you, Emily, for being honest. Oh, and I see some hands in the room. Okay, perfect. Okay, this is why today's topic exists the way it is, and I'm going to share my screen and we're going to walk through a couple of things together. This is not talk at you world. This is just let's be real. Let's build goals that we can get around, and let's be excited by what we're doing here. So, hold on, because again, it's that thing where I gotta drive and press buttons at the same time. And it seems simple when you're watching people do it, but it does require skill to do both at the same time. Okay, share. Okay, so Winning 2026 starts now. The reality is this: for a very long time, we could say, hey, when we go into deals, we're going to get 7 and 11-day closes. And so you could not have anything lined up right now and still have a good amount of closes before the end of the year. And the reality is, hold on, let me make sure I'm not glitching. Okay. The reality is that's not exactly true anymore. Our days on market have ticked up, our escrow time has ticked up a bit. And so if it's November 5th and deals take 60 to 90 days to get through, 60 days from now is January 5th, and 90 days from now is February 5th. Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's true. So we have to focus now in order to be ready. And here's what's going to be exciting about this, you guys. We're going to walk through all the different pieces, and it's going to be fun. And look at that girl. Isn't she cute? She's excited to be here. So I want you to be interactive. I want you to unmute and talk and raise your hand, because I don't need to just hear myself talk all day. This was coming from the Shift book, from page 183 of the Shift. Gary Keller talks about being a local market authority. And when you look at your business plan that you created, I want you to think about, am I known for that? When someone wants clarity, do they think of you? Right? Who can tell me When was the last time a client reached out to you with a real estate question? Gotta seal your faces. Not in scripts or real estate dialogue this morning. Beyond that, this is how you know if you're seen as a local market authority. Do you have people in your world who text you, call you, social media ask you questions? When someone wants clarity, do they think of you? Or are they going someplace else first, right? So when you think about that, I want you to literally ask yourself this. When was the last time a client turned to you with a real estate question? And then why did they reach out? And when you reflect on that, you'll know, what do they think you're an authority of? If you're only getting questions about like who has the best pizza in San Diego, you're seen as a pizza authority, not as a real estate authority, right? So I want you to truly do the work to think about that. And if you're like, oh, I'm not actually sure the last time someone reached out to me about real estate without me prompting the question, or be standing in an open house, doesn't count. Standing in an open house doesn't count. The open house is doing the work. This is unsolicited, reached out and asked you a question. You need to be the local market authority. And those questions will help you know if you got there, if you're there or not. Oh gosh, I'm going the wrong way. Look at me. We're winning. Okay, so how do we know? I gotta make this smaller. I cannot stand talking to you guys when I can't see your faces. How do we know if we are the local? How do we go ahead and do that and make sure people know it? We own the numbers and tell the story. You guys, Ashley gives us market stats every single month in a way that people do not get them. And you get a PDF version of the stats to go out and tell the story. Now, do not go tell all the slides story. That is not your job. Your job is to grab one or two compelling pieces from market stats and go deep on that story. And that means go to all your channels, go to your newsletter, go to your Facebook, go to your Instagram, go to your YouTube. If you can't say that you have a couple of those happening, I think 3 should be happening. Ideally 4, probably. Then go ahead and put that on your plan for 2026 to figure out how you're going to make that happen. You have to be coming in multiple channels because your job is to be in rapport with your people where they are, not where you are, right? So once you get the market data that you're looking for, you own the numbers, you understand them, and you start telling the story. You tell it at soccer sidelines, you tell it at school pickup and drop off, you tell it at happy hour with your friends, you tell it at book club when it's relevant. You go ahead and tell it also, you go live on your Facebook, on your Instagram, you do a quick live. If you don't know how to do YouTube at all, go to YouTube, press live, and just give it a go. You give yourself a few minutes, tell a story, have a slide if you can, and make it happen. The newsletter also will make you the local market authority. The last part, and go to shift page 183 and look at this part. The market authority is the huge first cog in the wheel of having you have a successful business plan for 2026, having you have a successful real estate career, right? If you're only known as someone who does open houses, but people haven't connected the dots that you're actually also a local market authority, then they're thinking of you as like a Vanna White of real estate homes for sale, not as someone they trust with their business. I hope that makes sense. The third thing you're going to do on this piece is embed yourself in the community as a go-to resource. How do you do that? You tie it together. You tie together. How do the numbers relate to the community? How do the numbers relate to your local neighborhood? How can you use the numbers to do what you need to do in real estate? How can you make smart decisions? How does the real estate serve the community? All of those conversations start to roll together. And when you're at the center of it, that's when you've embedded yourself in the community as the go-to resource. And when you click back to the first one and think, are people actually calling me and asking me questions? Ta-da! Some people are still using Nextdoor. Some people have Facebook pages they built to be local masters of their neighborhood. It's all fine. It all will work when you work it. That could also be multiple channels that you're using. Nextdoor is one of them. If you built a neighborhood Facebook page, that's one of them, right? But start simple. And everyone, deep breath for a moment. We were trained previously that Instagram, Facebook, social media was very polished and very presented and very intentional. And don't cringe if you're in that world and you're like, what do you mean not intentional? It is intentional, but they would rather see you talking to your stories or clicking the go live button on your Facebook and telling people why this matters to them versus putting together some polished, refined, edited, magical piece of something, right? They want to know the real you in the community and how do the numbers matter to them. If you have questions as I'm going, please either shout out to stop me, or I think if you press the chat, I'll see it. Can't promise that that's true. Okay, so write your business plan. My wish for every one of you is that we write a business plan that we look at daily. Daily, daily, daily. Your GPS, your goals, your priorities, and your strategy, right? And I wanted to, I thought the perfect timing coming out of Business Planning Clinic on Thursday and Friday last week. And then Jacqueline did the GPS session today. And now, voila, we have How to Start Winning in 2026 start today. You have to have this someplace visible. You have to have it be meaningful. You have to have it be something that you're personally attached to, right? It's not just like I saw it in the book, and so that was that, and now I left it this way because they said use these numbers. I want to make 100, whatever. No, nobodycares.org. You're not accomplishing your goals because they're not attached to you, right? So your goals, your priorities, and your strategies, that makes up your GPS. If I don't know if you got through it all today, and it won't really matter because we're going to keep tying this all together, but I want to show you this next piece. So if you, I'm going to make this big for a second, even though I can't see your faces. I'm going to deal with my discomfort to make it more comfortable for you. Okay, so I grabbed this, this is a screenshot directly from Jacqueline's presentation today, and she went ahead and used the edited numbers that Ashley used in Business Planning Clinic. So this all should be ringing bells to you guys. And in the sample she used, so everyone will have the ability to see that sample as she walks through it for the class, to make $150,000 in net income, you guys, it was only 11 units sold. So who was in the room when Dan Holt said, that's cute, I had a part-time job once? When he was talking about how many units it takes to be successful in real estate in San Diego. This is why, you guys, this is why. Because in other places, 11 units is like you're not even in the top of anything. And in San Diego, the blessing is that in 11 units, you can be earning 150 net. That's take home after all your things, right? So I want to make sure everyone realizes, first of all, if you haven't been in Jacqueline's class today, you will have a chance to go watch the recording. If you didn't take the time to sit in business planning on Thursday or Friday last week with Ashley, there's still a chance to walk through business planning and to get that simplified. And I would say you might even want to start with just listening to Jacqueline's recording. And here's the 4 questions you need to consider. What do you want? If you're in the class, a little bit of this is repetitive, but I need to make sure you're understanding. It's not just, I want to make $200,000, or let's use the 150. I want to make $150,000. Is that gross or is that net? Have you done the work to understand the difference? What do you want gets into your lid, your lifestyle costs, your investments, and your debt. Everything it costs to live your life, plus the things that bring you joy, plus the investments, the things you want to do, right? Why do you want it? So what do you want is the first question. Why do you want it is the second question. The further you go into these simple questions that seem like, does this really matter? I mean, I want it because I want to live a good life, and I want it because I want to be able to like go out to dinner when I feel like it and get my Starbucks oat milk latte and not care about it. What's the one right now? It's so pecan oat milk cantata or something. I don't know. It's so good. Cortada. So you want to be able to like spend on things that you want to spend on. You want to plan that trip you want to take. You want to have the money to go to family reunion in Atlanta in February and see all the ridiculous speakers and not worry about where you're staying and how much it's going to cost, right? What do you want and why do you want it? What really came out last week in ALC clinic and in business planning, I was in the one day of it, and we realized the gap was in the does it really matter connection. And if you're really honest with yourself, does it really matter? Like, are you setting goals that are just numbers that look good on paper? Or are you setting goals that are meaningful to you? And if you don't accomplish them, it means you don't get to do something. Because when you take the time to do the work to figure out your financials, your lifestyle, your investments, and your debt, and that lid, if there's people who haven't done the lid work at all, I'll do a session on it, next week, one day, and walk us through why that matters and really getting specific. And if you do the work to figure out the dollars of it, and James Shaw ran ALC clinic for us last week, and he talked about his daughter who's 13 and she does competitive dance. And my oldest daughter is 13, and both of my girls do competitive dance. And then he talked about how dance costs him $15,000 a year, and that's a lot. And he said, are you going to tell your kid they can't do dance anymore? Or are you going to find a way to work harder? I don't want to make that weird for anybody because I know sometimes dollar conversations make things uncomfortable, right? The reality is, going back to number 3, does it really matter? The reason we don't hit our goals is because they don't matter. Because if they mattered, we would do it. Because the reality is, you're either hitting it and you're getting to that lid and you're accomplishing that goal, or you have to go back and adjust the goal. You can adjust it lower, you can adjust it higher, right? If you're not going to hit that number, what are you taking off? Are you taking off the vacation? Are you taking off your Starbucks habit? Like, what are we removing from the things that we said mattered that we're going to say, well, they really don't matter because I'm not doing the work to make it happen, right? Is that resonating? Are we understanding? A thumbs up, a nodded head, yes, I get it. Okay, I see some movement. Perfect. I think we say real estate is simple, but it's not easy. This one, let me press that little magical chat button again. The, yeah, field hockey is also expensive, Eddie. I mean, if you're going to do anything seriously these days, it just costs money. And it's like, okay, you can't do point because I can't buy your $300 point shoes. And then guess what happens when they're teenagers? Their feet grow really fast as they're preteens. So then you need new versions of the tap shoes or the point shoes or the jazz shoes or the lyrical shoes or the ballet shoes or any other shoes for all the dances that they do. And yes, that's about James or that's about me for a moment or if anybody else has dancers. But it's really not. It's really about the reasons we work is because we said that we had things that we wanted to accomplish, and money makes the world go round, right? So when I know you might feel like, oh my gosh, you're still just sitting on this one page. First of all, there's only like 6 slides. It's not a whole slide intensive session. This is really about you being in tune with the things you say are important to you. And what I want you to do while you're by yourself, you can do it in a group if you want, but you're probably not going to be honest the same way you would be if you're by yourself, is when you write down the things that you say are important to you and the things that you want to spend money on, then ask yourself for each one, am I willing to do the work it takes to accomplish this goal? And then say yes or say no. And once you said yes, you will have aligned yourself differently with the things you're committing to for you. Remember, this is a you thing, not a me thing. You've decided what it is. And then you're going to plug in the formulas. The coolest thing about this is that Ashley built an amazing spreadsheet and we have it in the command system, but actually tweaked the numbers for us that we don't have the same. Nobody on here is running some giant team. Ashley said one of the teams she coaches, the team's monthly expenses are $100,000. Perspective, right? Perspective. Nobody here has $100,000 a month to run your real estate business, right? So operating expenses and cost of sale have gone down. And if you've really been honest about the number, and again, this $20,000 here, let's talk about that for a second. When you're using the calculations, this is the average commission. All commissions are negotiable. None of them are predetermined. Everything is flexible and malleable based on what you're doing. We don't cast any rules that our agents must subscribe to. This is based on 2.5% of $800,000. Those are rough averages. Averages, things that people see typically. I would really urge you to go back to what you see in your own business, meaning, is your average sales price 800? Is it less or is it more? Is your average commission earned or charged for your services 2.5? Or is it less or is it more? Based on that, you'll have your average commission fee. When that will, if you, you guys, if you don't have that right, your whole thing is a mess, right? So you have to use your numbers as you go and as you grow. Plug in the formulas and make sure you're being honest with yourself. Now, standing by, we're going to test your plan. This is where it gets different for a minute. This is where I want us to consider what's possible. When we go into test your plan, this is transparently a part that I have never really cast out to people before. And this was the part in my mastermind that was like, oh my gosh, yes. The speed of our market has slowed down. So we're now November 5th. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my gosh, exactly 8 weeks from today is New Year's Eve, December 31st. Happy 8 weeks left to make an amazing end of 2025 for yourselves. Everyone gets those same 8 weeks. Not everyone will use those 8 weeks the same. I would urge you and encourage you to go test your plan. Make sure you're doing the work now to have the plan written down, and now go start testing it. What do you mean test the plan, Sarah? That sounds crazy. I don't understand what you're talking about. We normally wait, just like we wait to start a new habit on a Monday or on the beginning of a new month, or I'm going to start working out January 1st, 2026. It's easier to tell you guys this today because I did work out this morning. And if I didn't work out this morning, I wouldn't feel as good about it. But I didn't care that it was Wednesday. I was like, I didn't work out all last week while I was traveling. Today's a new day. Get your butt going. So you have 8 weeks left in this year. You know, based on what you're doing in your business, what kind of plans you're running on. Meaning, do you do events? Do you do open houses? Are you someone who loves to call expired listings or for sale by owners? Are you calling DTD2 when you're living in your database and you're doing that as your main form of business? Whatever your main thing is, and if you're planning on adding something, start now. Test it now. Here's the difference. When you start now, and I gave this to my 6 Figures coaching group last week. When you start now, you give yourself permission to be testing versus needing to succeed. When you give yourself permission to test for 8 weeks, let's be honest, we have Thanksgiving in there, we have holidays in there, right? We're not going to be going 24/7 in those 8 weeks. You're going to be able to get a solid 4 to 6 weeks of testing in the 8 weeks we have left. And if you're only grading yourself on testing my plan versus needing to succeed in my plan, you will respond to yourself differently. And by the time January 1st hits, everyone gets to take the day off because you've been working and you've earned it and it's a holiday. You don't need to work on January 1st unless it's part of your plan. That's a whole other thing. That's a Thursday, January 1st. Let's say you're wild. Let's say you're totally buck wild and you've worked the rest of this year really well and you're like, I'm going to enjoy my time with family. Maybe you're traveling and you're going to go 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. January 5th is a Monday. When you start working on January 5th, you're not testing your plan. You know whether it works for you and you're committed to it. Here's the beauty of that. You know, look how happy she is that her plan works. She's so cute. You can edit and grow. You can take your plan right now and you can edit it and you can grow it. You can tweak it and you can change it. You have time to evolve it. You can be like, I'm going to do 4 open houses a week and I'm going to door knock 10 doors around it and I'm going to advertise it and I'm going to social media and I'm going to blah, 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 whatever the things you're going to do are. Great. Start right now. And by the end of the year, you'll know if your plan is realistic, if it's serving you, if it's bringing you joy, if it's bringing you outcomes, if it's working, or if you have to tweak it. Who has ever run their plan and tested it at the end of the year before they go into the next year? I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but I was like, I don't know. I feel like I've never heard of that before. Why hasn't that been taught all the time? Why don't we always look at it that way? Why isn't the last few weeks of the year, why aren't we doing that? Partially, we're not doing it because the market's been a little bit funky. And then before that, it was just really, really fast. And then before that, it was COVID. And then before that, we didn't know the world would go crazy. And everybody was just living in La La Land, if we're going to be honest about it. So now I would really encourage you to make sure your plan is ready. Here's the secret to that part. I don't care what AI tool you're using, you go punch into it. Jacqueline gave you prompts if you went to her class. If you didn't go to her class, go watch the recording when she records it and you'll have all the prompts. If you don't have patience, you go to I use Gemini because it's our free pro plan, and I say, hey, Gemini, friend of mine. It's fun because I'm a Gemini, because my birthday's in May. I'm a real estate agent at Keller Williams San Diego Metro. My goal is to close 20 houses next year. My favorite ways to do business are to serve my community, to hold open houses, and to talk to my database. Help me write a plan to close 20 deals next year based on these three pillars and the MREA. Guess what it's going to do? All the work for you. So the days of like, oh, it takes me 3 weeks to figure out blah, blah, blah. Not anymore. You do the prompts, you get the plan, and then I want you to quickly get to work testing. Okay. You're like, Sarah, why in the world are you harping on test the plan and does it matter? Here's why. I sat in ALC clinic and I sat in the room of people who do great business. And I heard people say, we know what to do. Why aren't we doing it? And the reason why people don't do all the work all the time is because of the accountability around the goals, and there is none. So, what I've offered to the group, and I'm going to offer it to everybody, is that if you want to be held more accountable this year, you submit a photo of the thing you're working for. And what does that mean? Like, you want to buy a house or an investment property, you want to take vacations with your family, you want to, you know, buy a horse. I don't know, whatever the thing is that you want to do, right? That you're excited about. You want to fund your child's dance streams. And y'all, that is spendy. Let me tell you what, you've got pictures of dance shoes, you've got field hockey sticks, whatever the thing is for you. You want to travel the world, you want to fly first class, you want to build a house for your parents, whatever it is. You send that photo and we will hold you accountable by saying, do you still care about this? And sending you a text message or an email back on a weekly basis. If you're freaked out and that feels too intense, that's okay. You don't have to. But if you want that because you realize, oh my gosh, I don't even know what my goal was 3 weeks later, this is why. We're going to stay focused on it together as a group. Okay, so why does it matter? That's what I'm talking about right now. It's not just your personal happiness. And look at this happy house. This house is so happy to be here. Then we're traveling with friends. I don't know, we're hiking in waterfalls. It's so dreamy and fun. But y'all, we got to help humanity. We have to help humanity because the world needs more help. The reality of this conversation is it's always true. There always needs to be more help. We have a huge homeless population in San Diego. We have a huge underfed population, underserved population. We have Got Your Back San Diego to do backpacks for kids. We can feed people all the time. And yet, with what's happening right now with SNAP benefits, I mean, I don't, something like $9 billion a month to fund the program. So if nobody's raised that yet, then, keep going. So on top of that, it's Thanksgiving. On top of that, it goes into Christmas and Hanukkah and Happy New Year and all the things. And people need food and coats and shoes. And yes, even in San Diego, we need coats sometimes. So I want you to think about, how can I help humanity? And if you're like, I don't like helping humans, I hate humanity, then stop listening. I'm totally okay with that. But if you don't hate humans and you want to keep helping humanity and you want a solution through this, that's why I went ahead. I asked Chris Spade, because Chris normally does the food drive stuff for the office. And life's busy right now. So I said, hey, I don't think I've seen anything about this. Do you want me to go ahead and do it? Yes. So, I don't want to steal anyone's thunder. And so that's going to be an office resource you can use to help humanity. I've shared with you guys from the pivot calls last year, I went ahead and did blessing baskets for Thanksgiving. This year, it's year two. We're feeding 69 families Thanksgiving baskets. I promise you, this takes almost no effort whatsoever, and it's so rewarding, right? The food drives will always happen. There's so many ways to help humanity. But let me just ask you to think about if you had to think outside the box, like what would that look like, right? How could you help people and how could you help differently? And I want you all to pay attention for 2 minutes while I share this story. Ariana, because I can see your face. Did it move to Instagram, the screen share? Okay. Oh, but wait, I have to undo it because I don't think I shared volume. Standing by. Stand by. Through the magic of technology. We have to press the share sound button, y'all. That's why your sound doesn't come through. Okay, we're going to go again. And I want you to think about this coffee shop in Portland. And maybe some of you saw it. And I would ask you to please just listen again. This coffee shop in Portland and what they did when they heard that there was a need.
Oh my, yeah, okay. I don't even know where to begin with this one. Every second, another donation comes in. It is unlike anything I've ever seen. Someone was like, you should set up a donation link. And that person's comment had more likes than the actual post. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. If I legitimately thought we would get like a couple $100. And so we just put a donation link that's attached to our register up here. And by the end of the night, we were over $10,000. Crazy. We have brought in the total's at $86,000 that people have given for this. Like, what do you say to that? Yeah. Like, and if I were to show you these donations, these aren't people giving $1,000. This is people giving. I saw one this morning for $1.17. Mm-hmm. That is someone who only has $1.17 to give. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones that just that just blow my mind. I'll wake up and there will be donations from West Africa, Australia. Like, this is a global movement of humanity feeding Portland people. I think Portland has been in the national news with a bad reputation for many years now. And the entire world is coming together to reset the reputation of what Portland is actually like. And this is just a small little piece of what Portland is actually like. There's this, how should I say this, societal or like cultural embarrassment maybe that comes with being on a SNAP program. And so we try to remove that all the way. So if you just order the SNAP breakfast, sounds like a regular breakfast menu item, and we ring you up just like a customer, except we press a button that 100% comps that order for you. So it comes with that burrito, it comes with that breakfast, and you are treated just like every other person that comes in here. Oh my, yeah, okay, I don't even know where to begin with this one. Every second.
Okay. I want you to just look for a moment here. Heretic Coffee is a volunteer-run, nonprofit coffee shop that trains people to become baristas and coffee roasters. What? He's not even trying to make $1 billion as a coffee shop, this guy. And when he saw what I want, you're like, why are you showing us a coffee thing? It's okay. We're trying it together. This was a week ago, this post. When he heard what was happening with SNAP benefits, he took action and did what he could do that was inside his realm. And what I want you to think about is, what actions can you take as a real estate agent, as a local community advocate, as the market leader and the market expert for your area, for your community? What actions can you take in your world to become that for other people? I want to take it one layer deeper for you here. When we go to Heretic's page, what happened? It's not working. Okay. When we go to Heretic's page, if you want to come here on your own and look, you can watch his 3 highlight reels on the top, Snap, Snap 2, and Snap 3. I will not show you them. I will not make it. I will be sobbing my face off before it's over. And again, this was the first post. No one should have to worry. It was October 25th, okay? That's all he did. He made a post on Instagram, you guys. Like, he did not go, he wasn't trying to be a hero to the world. And then this was, I think this was yesterday. Yeah, as of today, 501 people have received the SNAP breakfast at his coffee shop. 501 people were fed because someone made an Instagram post. But wait, look how much money they've raised.
That's crazy.
This was 5 days ago. It's definitely more than that now. And I didn't stalk him today to see like what's going on. What I want you to consider for a moment is, why do we do the things we do? Why do we go ahead and work so hard? Why do we need to be attached to our goals? Because money's good for the good it can do, right? And the more you can take this moment seriously and get there and test yourself and test your plan and see if it works, hopefully by the end of this session, you'll understand the dots all come together because you have plans and you have goals and you have things you want to do that you're not doing because you didn't do the work to make it happen this year. And this is not a you thing. This is also a me thing, right? I am in the same bucket as well. Everyone on here, unless you're living your supremely best life and you've accomplished all the things you want to accomplish, we fell short in some capacity this year. And that's okay because we're humans and we're not perfect. And the moment we can learn is when we say, what can we do differently to have different results? And so I would encourage you to look at those planning tools. Look at the tools you got from Ashley in business planning last week. Look at the tools you got from Jacqueline today in putting your GPS together. Look, I'll share this little slide deck if you want any like inspiration to remember what we talked about. And then think, what can I start testing immediately? Here's one. If events are in your world, you've got the Canva tool, you have the facility to do good and feed people. Go to your community and start collecting food, right? Put the Canva thing out, post it on your social media, go door knock it to your neighbors, bring it to your, parent meetup, whatever your group of people is. Go start testing it. If I do this, will I get the results I want? And now I want people to report back through the end of the year. Is the testing working? Am I on track? Will I get where I need to be? And can I finally start January in a new year feeling confident and sure that I'm ready to hit my goals and I know what the heck I'm working for versus feeling like, well, I know everyone says San Diego people make a lot of money because houses are expensive and it doesn't take that much and whatever. So I guess if I sell a few, I'll be okay. You deserve more than that. Questions, thoughts, comments, dig deeper, anything anybody wants to elaborate on? Was anyone scared? Hopefully you were inspired. The reason I really wanted to share the heretic story and the Oregonian story about him is because he's just a person who took an action because there was a need. And if you've watched, we had Sheena before. Sheena, who works out of the DC area and the work she does, her team will have given back $1 million this year to help people. And Gary Keller actually knew she was close to $1 million this year, and he volunteered to finish the gap and close the gap for her. And she said, no, thank you. I appreciate that, but we're going to keep doing this through our efforts. And that's what was important to her. I see one more chat box. We're ready to test our GPS. So what can you do? What do you care about? What are you working for? And if you don't even know that to begin with, call me, text me. I will help you go through the process to figure out what it is. And let's make sure that we end this year as strong as can be, regardless of what the first 10 months have been, and that you finally start a fresh year feeling proud and ready to do amazing things. Because y'all, a lot of people need help and we got to help them. All right, you have my cell phone. Reach out if you need it. Otherwise, make today amazing, and I will see you soon. Toodles.